everyone, welcome back to my channel. You're Renisha, Jesvita, and I hope you've been loving these recent episodes that I have been uploading. If this is your very first video, then make sure to go check out the other videos as well. But today I'm back with yet another interesting video and something that I just know would help me and save me a lot of time if I had this when I was in college. That is how to build your resume from scratch even with zero experience. I've got you. I remember when I started college. Now, some YouTubers on YouTube make college look like it's the best thing in the world. And it might be, I'm not going to lie, it might be. But not everything about it is best. And the real, struggle starts with when your teacher will randomly tell you that,
oh, you all need credits to graduate, and for that you need to do an internship.
And your first thought is, in order to get an internship, you need to have a resume. And in order to have a resume, you need to have done something. And you quite literally are just starting college.
So what on earth is going to be in your resume?
And how are you going to fill up that resume?
It's okay. Chill out. I've been there. That's why I'm here to help you out.
So let's just get into it. First things first, you need to understand that a resume does not need to be complicated, okay? Keep it as simple as possible. Keep it to the point as possible. Whether you're applying to any internship or any company, please understand that even the HR or anyone responsible for checking your resume is not going to look at your resume for a good 10 to 15 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes is the max. So you need to make sure that certain details capture their attention. Now let's go into the second section, which is design and keeping it clean but professional at the same time. Now, just because you're in college doesn't mean you need to have an ugly resume. You can have a decent and presentable resume, and I'm going to explain to you exactly how to do it. Firstly, let's talk about pictures. Now, because I was in the creative field, I do have a certain level of flexibility that certain fields do not offer, which is probably like a medical field or something like that. Those require professional photographs. You can go to any photo studio and take the most simple and professional photo that will be added to your resume eventually. Next to your resume, what you need to do is to give yourself an appropriate title. Now for me, I agree that I do work in the creative field, but what is also to be remembered is that I do tons of things. I do video editing, I do writing, I do social media management, I have done a lot of backend. I have a lot of experience in backend with events, and so I needed a title that would fit appropriately, and so I did my own research. All of you have to do it eventually. I did my own research and I found that the term that worked best for me was multimedia designer. Now, a multimedia designer by proper definition, let me just read it out to you. So, a multimedia designer by definition is a creative professional who uses a combination of graphic design, animation, video, audio, and interactive elements to create content across different platforms. So what they eventually do end up doing is graphic design, content writing, video editing, and so many other things. Now this is what worked best for me. You will have to look out what works best for you and put that appropriate title.
Now, simple
but definitely effective thing you can do is below that title to just write one sentence that kind of describes what you do and how you do it. And giving my own example, giving what I wrote in my resume, here's what it is. I'll attach a picture as well. Highly creative with the ability to work well within a team, takes creative flair and attention to detail to craft unique designs. Now this is actually basic simple thing, but it's just the way that I wrote that makes it look like really professional and really good, and that just
always works out well for you because it worked out well for me.
The third point in this section is to keep a proper detailed yet brief contact information, irrespective of whichever platform you're sending it on. Please include your email, because how else are they supposed to reach out to you if they are interested? So make sure to attach your email, your phone number, and any professional platform like LinkedIn, which I need to tell it to you that you need to have one. It really helps and goes a long way. So these 3 things, and maybe if you have a blog that kind of supports what you want to do, that's also a very good thing to add to your resume, because I did, and that helped me. But please don't include your social media unless absolutely necessary, because what is your social media going to do? Your work needs to speak for yourself. So maybe if you have like your portfolio is an Instagram account of video editing stuff, go for it. But otherwise, please don't include it. The third section is the most important section, and that is education and experiences, even if you're still in college. Now, firstly, let's talk about education. Education is the most basic section. Like, you really don't need to break your head about it. The way I went is I wrote my degree name, below that I wrote my college name, and below that I wrote my year. Now, since I made this resume when I was still in college, what I had done is I had written bracket 2020 to present, which kind of signifies that I'm still in college and I'm still pursuing my degree. Now, when you're mentioning your education, you're obviously going to mention your 10th and 12th as well. Firstly, keep all of that extremely brief, but secondly, make sure that your most recent education is going to be at the top of the list, because yes, your 10th and 12th and all of it matters, but if you don't mention your current education, why would they care about your previous education? So your current education needs to be the top and needs to be what they see first. Now, the second point in this section is about experiences and projects. Please do not underestimate them. They are really, really, really important, irrespective of whether you intentionally or unintentionally participated in this. Use it to your benefit, but again, it's all about how you phrase it. Now, let's say you were a part of an event and you had to host it, albeit by force, but let's say you had to do it. How you phrase it really matters, in the sense that instead of just saying participated in event or whatever, you can mention like event coordinator and MC for the annual fest of this college in this year. If you want to keep it short, don't mention college, just mention event coordinator and MC at during this year. And then in the sub points, mention how you hosted like a 2-day cultural event, which kind of signifies the importance of the event subtly. And then below that, you can be like coordinated with a team of 10 members to make sure that the event was executed successfully. Here's the thing. Keep the words simple, but keep them impactful at the same time. Like a word like executed instead of completed makes a huge difference. It also makes your resume look professional, which is what we are going for. The third thing in this section is volunteering. Again, it's something very important. Don't think it's not, because it really matters. It really matters what you do beyond just school and education, and what is it that you are going out of your way to do in. So like, we used to have charity events in school, so I mentioned that because me and my friend had kind of done this duplicate Starbucks drink and we were kind of like sold out in 5 minutes. So I made sure to mention that, because it might look like something small, but never underestimate the value of something like that. The next section is the fourth section, and that is all about extracurriculars that add value. Now, here's the thing. Just because I said extracurriculars doesn't mean you add anything and everything, but rather you need to add really important stuff that actually adds value. Now, don't just list groups or activities that you did. Like, mention what you exactly did in it. Like, for example, let's say you were the prefect, let's say you were the prefect in school. Okay, what did you do as a prefect? Your job was to make sure that everyone was following the school rules, that they were wearing their perfectly required uniform, that they were wearing their ID cards. Certain things were important. Now, these are necessary because you need to mention what exactly you did as your role. And when you mention that like you were responsible for all of this and that you executed it as required, it also shows your leadership abilities and that you can be trusted to manage an entire team. The next section, that is the fifth section, is all about relevant coursework and freelance work. Now, even though you are studying, this video is all about how you can use the simplest of things to your benefit. And here's how you're going to do it. Instead of just mentioning your degree or saying that like, oh, this is what I'm studying, what you can do is mention what exactly you're studying. Now, if we are talking about marketing, you can mention that you're learning about digital marketing, brand strategy, and behavior consumerism, and that shows what exactly you're studying. And if they hire you, how will you be of help to them? Now, the second part of this section is freelance work. No matter how small it is, please go ahead and add it. If you worked for like some blog as a freelancer, then mention how your blogs might have upped their traffic rate. But at the same time, if you haven't done that, then what I would
highly suggest you,
if you're a writer, then create a blog. You have free websites like Wix, and there's one more website, WordPress, where you can start writing your blogs to create a portfolio that will be of worth when you're showing it to the recruiter. And if it is any other field, just do some basic research and you will figure out a way to maybe compile all your work in a form of PDF or in a form of website like I have mentioned, which will prove to be really useful. The sixth section is all about internships and part-time jobs. No matter what kind of job you might have done,
a job is a job.
And especially when you don't really have much on your resume to start with, add anything and everything, but again, of something that holds value. Please do not add that I helped my mom in the kitchen.
Like, brother, please. You know, it's funny that I have to even mention this, but like, I do know some people that think of it, which is weird, but whatever.
You get my point. Like, maybe you worked in a cafe as a part-time job. Mention that. But do not mention that you help your mother in the kitchen, because that's your goddamn job. That's all that there is to it. Just mention any experience that you have, if you have it in the first place. If not, I've definitely given you tips way before in this video as to how you can make your resume look professional and amazing until you actually get a job. The seventh tip is little kind of things that actually help make your resume look super duper professional. First point in this section is, I know it's annoying and I know it's frustrating, but tailor your resume to each job. Now, I know you're going to be like, oh my god, like I have created so much time, or I have wasted, or whatever word you want to use, doing this resume, and now you want me to tailor it to each job?
Yes, I want you to.
Because that's how you're going to stand out from the rest of the crowd. And if you want a job, you better be doing it, okay? So like, you don't need to change the whole resume as a whole. Always have an original one and have a copy as to where you can tweak a little according to the role that you're applying for. The second point in this section is all about using action verbs. Like I mentioned, use words like executed, led, designed, increased. You know, use those kind of words that kind of do have an impact, and it will actually take you a step further. The third point is all about using numbers rather than qualitative terms. And what I mean by this is, instead of saying, oh, I was in this team where stats improved, or where maybe like the social media presence improved, don't stop there. Mention what exactly was improved and by how much percent. Like you can say, you helped increase sales boost by 30%. In corporate world, in real life world, numbers hold a huge significance in whatever you're doing. So that simple thing of mentioning improved by 30% rather than just improved makes a huge difference. So always use numbers wherever possible. Fourth point, this is a resume, this is a professional document, this is not your animation movie. Please use the most basic and normal fonts that are easy to read. No recruiter is going to waste time reading your newly designed fonts and all. I do understand sometimes it's exciting to create a resume and all, but keep it as basic as possible. It will save you. So yes, Try to keep it 1 to 2 pages max and as simple as possible. Arial, Romans, Times New Romans, these are the fonts that you can use. The fifth point and the last point of this section, proofread, but not by yourself. If you've been working on your resume for a while, when you're reading it yourself, everything looks normal. So it's always nice to give it to someone who you trust to read it and say, how does it look from a third person's point of view? And their feedback will be very critical and Section 8 and the last section of this video, and that's all about keeping your resume updated. Just because you have created a resume once, don't just keep using it and forget about it until you graduate. Keep updating it as and when things happen. And you might not realize this, but if you start creating a resume very early on, it actually helps motivate you to take part in activities, to be a part of events, just so that you can add it in a resume. So you might call this kind of a toxic motivation, but it helps you get your things done. And if it helps you get your things done and it doesn't harm you, why not give it a shot? Alright, now that's your guide to building your resume from scratch in college. Please know that you do not need to have it all figured out, but you need to start somewhere, and if you haven't yet started, now is the best time to start. Let me know in the comments what you're struggling with and if you need help in anything specific, and I will be more than happy to help you out. That was it for this video. Before you leave, make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.